Hi everybody, happy Saturday. Well, I spent the day here cleaning up case plow lift parts. Um, got everything all degunkified and laying out here, so we're basically ready to start reassembling things. Everything looked like it was in really good shape, everything cleaned up really nicely. Um, I got the round felt, ordered up from McMaster-Carr here to make the seals for in here and around here. So I just have to make up a couple of paper gaskets for these mounting surfaces, and we can start putting stuff back together here. So that's pretty exciting. Well, like I said, everything cleaned up good. I had this mechanism all inspected and cleaned up. Everything spins good, and I didn't find, like I said, anything wrong with anything. So I just figured I'd give you a quick little look here at what everything looks like. I will check back once things start going together here. Going back together. So I put the plow bolts in, and I actually put a O-ring around the head of the bolt where it goes in there, just to attempt to seal it up a little bit better than nothing. And I actually put one on the back side of the threads here too, just for a little added sealing power. I don't know if it'll actually do much good, but it's better than nothing. This U-bolt is back in, ready to go. This arm assembly here is together, and with that nut tightened up on that bolt, that joint is tight now, like because it was loose before. Grease in there, so that's all lubed up to go. The shaft is in and all lubed up. So next step would be put the mechanism on, I guess. Okay, key in, mechanism back on the shaft, washer on. Now this can get slid on. Okay, together. I wanted to show how this mechanism works for those people that may not know. I'm not sure of how well I'm going to be able to do this one-handed, but I'll try. Okay, so you got to pretend this is on the plow. This is hooked up to your lift mechanism. The wheel is here, and this is where your rope is to pull to, release the trip to activate the lift, right? So if you're going plowing along, your wheel is free to spin. I get to the end of the furrow. I want to lift my plow. I pull on the rope, which activates this lever. This, which releases it from the dog there, the roller. It allows the mechanisms to engage on those bumps on the inside of this drive wheel, which once that rotates, then it's letting that shaft rotate along with the wheel, which is lifting the plow. And then when you get to the other side, it goes 180 degrees. Then this is spring loaded. So when you get to the end, like that, it'll engage in the bump on the other side, 180 degrees. The lift is in the other orientation now, and the wheel is back to free spinning mode. So if I turn and plow around or get to the other side of the field, whatever, I want to drop my plow back in the ground. I'm going along, I pull the rope, it releases that ear, it activates this, so your linkage moves, spins around 180 degrees, that spring loads back in, and when it gets to the end, it's free to freewheel here again. Like I said, it's a little hard to hear to show without having a... Eventually I want to get a actual camera and tripod so I could show you guys a little bit better demonstrations, but I'm not set up with that yet, so you have to make do with me holding a camera phone. But I hope that kind of shows how that mechanism works. We'll go one more time here. So you're going along, you pull the rope, goes around. That's spring loaded. Guess it's hard to do one-handed. So you're freewheeling again. I want to drop my plow back down. Pull the rope, trips it, engages it, goes 180, and locks back in. It's pretty simple, really. And all different plow manufacturers have their own way that they do that, but they're all kind of essentially the same as far as the mechanicals go. So yeah, I just figured I'd show you that before I got it all put together, because it's kind of easy to see how it all works when it's all exposure at the moment. A couple things I discovered here, actually checking this, is that depending on where, because there's some play in this arm, if this is all the way that way, and this is all the way this way, well, maybe can't get it to do it. Yeah, it'll hit, these two parts will kiss each other. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this back apart and put a little bit of a washer spacer in there to take up some of that play and keep it out there where it belongs. And then I'll probably also get a couple more of these machine washers to take up some of this play of this hub, and that'll tighten that back up to acceptable tolerances. And yeah, it should be pretty good to finish assembling everything then, once I get those couple of things. There, I took that apart and put a washer in there. That tightened up all the tolerances very nicely. Just a little bit of play now, like it should be. That problem was solved. Okay, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Birds are chirping, the sun is shining. Let's put together a plow lift. So I got felt seals in here. I left them just a little bit long so they compress in there and hopefully seal up nicely in that joint. I got a couple of new gaskets made for there. I got that felt roughly to length there. I'll finish it to length once I get at least one half together, and then kind of make sure it's all fitting together good before I cut it to final length. Yeah, let's try putting this together. Okay, I got it all somewhat together here. I put everything kind of loosely on here. I got the gaskets in there. I tightened these bolts up all the way, so those two halves are clamped tight. As a note, I did put some oil on those felts there, so they're not running dry. I got all these bolts just finger tight. I'll start to clamp them together now. Just a little observation. Obviously, we know it needs to suck together tighter, but as it sits now, just sitting there loosely, the hub bolts do not clear the castings here. So hopefully that sucks up enough to clear. Otherwise, I'll be back to the drawing board and figuring out a different kind of felt or something, but hopefully it'll suck together here. We'll find out in a second. There, I bent a bolt to make a new J-bolt here. Just got to cut the head off to make it the same there. I shorted myself just a little bit. Should have been just a little bit longer, but It's just an adjustment for the spring. So I think it should be all right. If not, we'll try it again, but I think it'll work. There. It's amazing how much the grass grows in a few weeks, huh? I hadn't been out to plow here in a few weeks, and it's like a jungle out here. I don't know if you can hear me over the wind noise out here. Of course, it's North Dakota, so it's always windy. Oh, it's a beautiful day here, though. So I got the lift mechanism all put back on the plow. It was a bit of a pain in the butt because those two plow bolts in there, of course, even with those O-rings I put on there to try to stop it, they still wanted to work back in, so there was a lot of finagling to try to get this heavy mechanism on there without losing those bolts. Kind of a dumb design. Hindsight, I should have just put the whole assembly together out here, but you know how that is. It's easier to work on something in the shop than it is out in the field, but whatever, we got it done. Got the linkage hooked back up there, cotter pin in. The spring for the trip lever is back in with that new J-bolt, if you can see it down there. It should have been just a little bit longer, but took a pair of vice grips and stretched it into place there. Got the nut on, so it'll work. That little bit extra would have been nice to have, though. So I just got to come up with that one machine washer for the hub here, and then that hub can go back on for good. And then still got to figure out some tires, and then that one Z-shaped piece, gonna figure out that and put the rear tail wheel back on, and this plow is pretty much ready to use then. With the exception of the coulters, I gotta figure out what, if anything, I'm gonna do with them. Probably just take them off for now and maybe look at rebuilding them. I haven't come across any better used ones yet. Of course, I haven't really looked that hard either, but yeah, it's looking good. Just about there. Fun project. Thanks for watching.